Welcome back to Medicine Deconstructed. I'm your host, Dr. J. Rutland. I know we've been on the personal tip lately, and we're going to continue. I want you guys to get to know me a little bit. I discuss bullying, but now I want to discuss where my drive comes from, where my motivation comes from, and how I sustain it. So let's chat. A lot of people have asked me where I get my drive. How am I able to get up early, round, see patients in the clinic, spend the night in the ICU, continue to study, make YouTubes, participate in the media, be a dad, husband, brother, son, friend? There's so many stories. Obviously, the bullying in my life helped me become a little bit better. It pushed me to work at the activities I was participating in. But my family has this way of being real. My grandfather especially was real. I remember one time I was late to a basketball game. I was about 10 years old. Obviously, I couldn't drive yet, so I was yelling and screaming at my mother. I told her, "Mom, let's go. We need to go now." I was so rude. My grandfather, who was coming with us, ever so slightly muttered the words, "Nigga, you ain't got a game. Your team got a game." I didn't play much or at all back then, and I wasn't even that good yet. But that statement pushed me to be much better. I would go to the park and I would work on my game every day after that. I wasn't playing around anymore. Then in high school, I transferred Catholic schools. I went from the all-boy Catholic school to the boys and girls Catholic school in Sacramento. We were having a great season my senior year. But the one thing we never did my entire life was beat my former team. We had one more chance for the league championship, and before the playoffs in the state began. We were number 2 in the city, they were number 3. It was a huge game, huge. Obviously, I knew both sides. The gym was packed. There were over 5,000 people at this gym, something like that. My mother wasn't supposed to attend because she had a meeting in Philadelphia at the time. But as the game is about to tip off, and I'm at center court, I look to my left, I look up, and there's my mom with her luggage. It's like, "Mom is here, let's fucking go." Jesuit, who we played, they were a better team. We lost by 8. I had like 8 points and played pretty much the worst game of my life. We were still going to the playoffs, and we ended up going to the state championship that year and lost in overtime, but we won NorCal's. But not a day goes by where I don't think about that game. Thinking about that game pushed me through so many study nights, telling myself I would work way harder than I did that game. To top it off, after that game was over, I walked up to my mom. She looked at me dead in my face and she said, "Jamie, you made me leave my meeting early, travel all this way to watch you lose. Why didn't you just take the ball to the basket?" I believe that parents know their children. She knew me well enough to know how I would respond. There's not a day that goes by where I don't think about that. I mean, my mom was a single mom with a little help from the grandparents who went to law school at night and ran the California state government by day. I was 8 when she started law school. I remember her sitting at the table, the dining room table, every night she wasn't in class and studying. I remember her study groups. I remember her working her ass off to get where she is today. She said that to me at that time, after that game, to remind me to do the same. She knew it would motivate me. Was it mean? Sure. Was it questionable to say to a 17-year-old kid? Yep. But guess what? It worked. Come in, but just be quiet. Hurry up. Come on in.
Come on in.
Come on all the way in. But guess what? It worked. I'm here. I'm driven by spite. When someone deliberately hurts me or if... Come in and just be quiet. That's it.
Hi, me.
When someone deliberately hurts me or offends me, I'm okay with it because I end up working harder. There were times in medical school where I would see people at the coffee shop and I knew they got there before me, but the next day I would arrive before them. I would also leave deliberately after them. I wanted them to know, no matter how hard they worked, I was gonna work harder than them. That's just me. And it's the way I grew up and the way I'm built. I'm not suggesting this strategy for everyone. I am suggesting everyone to sit down and write about themselves. Learn what motivates you. Learn what drives you. Most of all, learn yourself. It helps you become whatever it is you want to be and helps you tap all of your potential. Thanks a lot for joining today's episode of Medicine Deconstructed. I hope you got to know me a little bit more and understand what drives me, what motivates me.
Your secret stuff. Wow. Whoa.
I told you a little bit about myself. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm here to arm you with some information. Next week, come back with some more ammunition, and we'll probably get to more science. Thanks again.
He's got crumbs all over him.
Because you're your sister. All right. Camera cut.
Stop, camera. No, seriously, that's why I'm